Hey guys, vaccinated here, and today I'm hopping back into probably my most favorite subreddit that I've ever covered, entitled Parents. Oh my gosh, this is gonna be fun. I pretty sure not many people watch this stuff, but I have fun with the character, like coming up with characters for this stuff. I'm doing the top of this month, and I'm just gonna try and get through as many as I can. And rather than starting from the top and going down, I'm going to start. Oh no, rather than going from the bottom starting up, I'm going to go from the top down and try and get through as many as I can in 20 or so minutes. Anyways, first up, I vaccinated my child. My mother is not happy about it. I currently don't speak to my mother, nor have I for many months now. But somehow she still finds ways to butt into my life and the decisions I make for my child. My husband and I both come from anti-vax families. Okay, we're starting off with a good note here. Woo! Anti-vax families. Not trying to get into that territory, but we're getting into that territory. His side is against it, but doesn't shame us for vaccinating our daughter. Respectful, sort of. So you get the respectful family from your partner's side, and then your mother is just like, no, no, no. My mother, however, really has a lot to say about it, since we both were raised not to believe in science. Not to believe in science. Well, they won't believe in me then. It was pretty natural for us to be against vaccinating our daughter when she was born. I had a home birth, so it was easy to avoid all your births, home births, at that point. Gosh! At least it's not Alabama. We would lie to pediatricians about it and just did what our parents did when we were kids. But since the new vaccine for COVID was released, I started to consider getting it and decided I started to consider getting it and decided to do some actual research on vaccines as a whole. My husband and I made the decision to get vaccinated as well as getting a schedule started for our 6-month-old baby to catch her up. We went in this morning to get her first shots. Everything went smoothly, and so far she seems fine. She has been fussy and sleepier than usual, but the pediatrician said that's normal and will go away in a day or two. Nice. Yeah. We've left feeling proud that we were able to educate ourselves effectively and set up our baby for success. Then I get a call. It's my grandpa. Or so I thought. I answer, and the first thing I hear is, when you wake up and she isn't breathing, you'll be sorry. I can't believe you did this to my little girl. I hang up immediately and start to panic. I eventually trace it back to a family member that is a doctor. Wait, that does not make sense. Anti-vaccination doctor. What? I was asking her questions about vaccines, and I told her we were going in today. I guess she told my grandpa how excited she was for us, and then he told my mum, and then boom, end of the world. Okay, so it's only the mother. It's only the mother that's against vaccinations. Okay. My mother-in-law found out later and seemed supportive, given her opinions about vaccines. She told us it's your decision, and I trust that whatever you do is what is best for her. So I'm glad we have her to help reassure us a bit. But now I've been getting texts and calls from my mum, from my grandpa's phone, absolutely freaking out. Saying that she hopes something happens to her, so I will see the consequences of my. Also, she is praying for her, whatever that means. Ultimately, we are confident with our decision and will continue with her schedule, although at times we do question if we made the right decision. I'm sure everything will be fine, but my mother seriously needs to chill out. No. How dare you try and wish harm on a kid, on a 6-month-old baby. It's like, yes, I would like my child to die at COVID. Why would you want your kid to die to COVID? Why? Yes, I would like 1 dose of death from COVID, please. Nah, it's not for me. It's for a 6-month-old baby. Not saying I'm losing a note. Until parents think they can park in my driveway because the kids are cranky and want to go to the beach now. Gets his car towed and nearly arrested. Well, this is a large one. Get comfy, people. I used to live on the bottom floor of a 2-story house in a very popular beach town in North Carolina. I don't really know where North Carolina is, because I thought that was like a landlocked state. Where is North Carolina? I don't know my America, but I'm pretty sure no one understands the time in Australia, so you can't be smart at everything. I was mid-20s. The upstairs was rented out too for college-aged guys. So 5 people, 5-car driveway built for 4. So one of us would either be on the grass or in a paid spot. If you had bills with your name and address, the city would give you a pass to park in certain paid spaces. So no big deal, but finding a spot in the middle of summer was hard. The house is maybe 100 yards to the beach. Pretty short walk. 5 minutes tops with beach gear and little ones. I would leave to work at 6:30 a.m. and return around 5 or 6 p.m. By the time I got home, most of the crowds would be gone, so a paid spot was easy for me to get. So I typically leave the driveway for the upstairs guys. One day I was running late and didn't get out of my house until nearly 8. The other guys have left and the driveway's empty. I'm walking out to my car, and of course the lots are already 90% full or more. As I'm crossing the street, I see a minivan coming up and pull into my driveway. I didn't recognize it, so I waited to see if I knew them or they knew the guys upstairs. One out steps, polo shirt, visor, bowling shorts, dad, and overly peppy mum with 3 screaming kids. Obviously, no one I know. I backtrack up. Excuse me, do you know the tenants upstairs or have permission to park here? EM. It doesn't matter. No one parks here, and Billy, Bobby, and Brandy have to get to the beach. Good naming convention right there, I will say. Me. There's 5 people living here, myself included, and we need to be able to park. Oh, so where's your car if you live here? In that spot, because I have a pass, and don't lie to us. You're here just the same as us, and upset we know how to park for free. I'm not lying. Dude, it's 8 a.m. I'm wearing my work uniform. We don't need to listen to you. We're going to park, and you can do whatever you want. My children have to get to the beach. You're ruining our vacation, so go away. Meanwhile, the kids are climbing on my fence in trees and out of the street. Okay, I'll just have you towed, and you can deal with it later. ED gets in my face practically nose to nose. Try and see. This isn't your house. You're just a little shit. Mind you, I'm 5'1", roughly 190 pounds. Fairly good shape. Me. Okay, have a nice day. So I went to my car and waited till they were pretty much at the beach. Like I said, very short walk. So I go inside, look up a tow service on the other side of town. Hello, yes, I'd like to report a car illegally parked on my property. Address, 123 street name. Not giving out the The actual address? Sir, that's an hour away. Yeah, I know. I'm not paying. That's their problem, okay? So be there in about an hour and a half. I called my boss. Not gonna be in today. Explain what happened. He's a pretty easygoing guy. Told me to keep him informed. Yes, yes. Tow truck arrives. Van gone. I leave my car in the spot and wait until 10:30 a.m. or so by now. Sometime around 2 or 3 p.m. there is a very angry knock at my door. Internal thoughts. This is gonna be bad. Imagine the shock when I answered the door, beer in hand, grin like an idiot. Can I help you? You. Where is our van? How did you get in here? Me? Oh yeah, here's the card. Had it towed across town. Gonna be a fun cab ride. Shuts the door. I shut the door in their face. More angry yelling and knocking. Me. Yes? ED trying to get in my house. You better get our van back. I'm gonna kick your ass. I'll have you arrested. Me. Get out of my house and call the cops. Not gonna change anything. I managed to shove him out the door, get it closed and locked. Now I wait. Next 20 minutes, I'm more angry, knocking and yelling. Finally, about 4 p.m.-ish, I see some blue lights. And there's a much more polite knock at my door. I grew up on the beach. It's a small number of locals. I know 70% of the locals. Police, bartenders, shop owners, residents. I know a lot of people on the island. Me. Oh, hey, Garrett. How's it going? Yeah, it's good. These people say you stole their van and broke into this house. Nope, they pulled into the driveway as I was leaving for work. Pulled an attitude, walked away, and said I couldn't do anything. So I called Lou on the other side of town. Van's there. I even gave them his card and offered to let them use my phone. He's lying. He stole our car and I demanded he be arrested. ED stormed up behind the officer. If you don't arrest him, I'll have you fired. This is ridiculous. Blah, 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 blah. Sir, back up. I'm going to figure this out. ED now shoving past the officer. This is bullshit. Working his way into my house again, Garrett managed to pull him out and manages to press him up against his cop car. Sir, you are trespassing now? Looking over at me? Would you like to press charges? You can keep him in your car until they get a cab. Yeah, I mean, I've got to get statements and everything. So I gave my statement, went inside, grabbed the beer, and went out the back door. Up the back steps and around to the second floor porch. And there I sat, smiling until the cab came about 5:30. My upstairs neighbors showed up, but they didn't play any part in the story. I'm not liking the stories as much this time around. Can we get a good one? Fictional. No, your bully of a son can't go on a private beach trip. Entitled mother abandons her child. Oh boy, this is a good one. Okay, people and friends, I put a share story from when I was younger and when my children were still young. So this takes place in the summer of 1975. At the time, my sons were 9 and 7. Also, they were in the Cub Scouts. Like most kids, they quickly made friends with the other kids. And as a dad, I made friends with the other dads that volunteered. Most of us got along well with the families except for the entitled mother and her son. The mother was extremely clueless about her own son and basically refused to parent him. She was more into the lifestyle of a mum, being in mummy groups and spending her husband's money rather than being a good parent to her son. The dad was a good person but worked a lot, so he was absent. Her 9-year-old son was a notorious bully. He was overly aggressive. He hit other children. stole items, and extremely disrespectful towards other adults. When the other parents brought this up, she would make constant excuses for him. He's just a boy. He's just expressing himself. Your kid started it. What made it worse? It was that the entitled mother would pacify her son's behavior with sweets, toys, and other things that he wanted. Because of this, the other parents and I didn't invite the mother and her son to events that took place outside of the Scouts. The entitled mother would often call our home about getting sleepovers or having her son play with our kids, which we were adamant about not happening. If we didn't give in, she said, "You're bullying my son by excluding him. How can you do that to a child?" She also threatened to call the governor for discrimination because she's a Baptist. Yes! Religion! What you should bring in. And if you're a Baptist, what did you teach your kid that stealing is not appropriate? Why? So late June, the other parents and I were talking about a beach trip to Santa Cruz and bringing our families with us. We talked through everything among the 10 other mums about planning this out. The entitled mother must have overheard what we were saying because she just came over with her son and said, "Can you take my son with you? I have something to do with my husband." What? Where? Entitled mother to Santa Cruz. No. You and your son are not invited. Oh, the entitled mother was going to go to Santa Cruz as well. This is a friends-only trip. Oh, this is long. You're a big meanie. Kicks me in the leg and runs. Oh, fuck! Ow! What the fuck? You kicked me in the leg, you little cunt! Look at what you did, child hater. She leaves and chases up. Get back here! Because this was a big trip, we decided to go shopping and hit the road on Friday. We had lots of shopping in bulk to reasonably be 12 adults and 18 kids. That's a lot of people. My wife and I, along with 4 other parents, were watching the cars and keeping the kids occupied. For a brief moment, I turned my attention to the car to turn up the AC because my kids said they were hot, and I turn over and the entitled boy is there with his bag and the mum peeling out in her station wagon. We are all just in shock, asking ourselves, is this really happening to us? She literally just be like, "Yeah, take my kid. Take my kid. I'm going on a holiday with my husband." The boy's mother gave him a note that had his allergies and an emergency phone number. We call no answer. We can't leave the kid here alone, and we're not going to bring him with us, so we opted to call the police. We put the kid in the car to keep him out of the sun. Fairly reasonable thing to do, and we made the call. We report entitled mother for the abandonment of her child. They sent an officer out in 15 to 20 minutes. The other parents and I go back to our cars and look out for the police. When we get back, entitled boy is pulling my 4-year-old daughter's hair. The reason why? The kids had some snacks in the cooler and didn't want to share them with entitled boy. What later proceeded as we were running to the car is 10 of the boys pulled the entitled boy off my daughter and proceed to beat his ass. Now the kids had 2 years of rage towards this kid balled up inside, so what took place wasn't surprising. Holy shit! The entire kid is bleeding, crying. He says that we're all mean and started demanding food from us. He was cussing us out, hitting things, and said, "I want to go on the trip. I want to go on the trip. I want to go on the trip now." What the fuck? No way. He kept parroting this over and over again. I yelled at him, "Shut up!" which only made him cry more. Now I will admit, I was probably in the wrong here. But this one of the few children I have truly hated in my life. The police arrived soon after and explained what happened. Apparently he was dropped off at his father's job. The mother received a child neglect charge. When she saw the kids beat up hers, she tried to charge our kids for assault. It was dropped because it was self-defense. Yes, because this kid grabbed a four-year-old's hair and was, if he had pulled any harder, that would have been like a lot of hair just ripped out. And like hair hurts if you pull it out. But all in all, my friends and kids had a great week in Santa Cruz. If you wonder what happened to the Tyler mum and son, the mum is still married to the dad. We haven't talked to her since our kids aged out of the Scouts. The son is a 55-year-old man child who was a creep that tried to pick up college girls, and he neglects his 4 kids. Well, that's my story, Reddit. That's all. That's all, folks. I can't do Porky Pig at all. I see where the fictional tag comes from, but holy shit, that was a story. Redeeming story for this subreddit. On that, I'm going to end the episode here. Links to both the channels will be in the description. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell across the channels so you know when the next video comes out, gaming or not. A ding, a ding. I'm Mad Scientist.